Hello everyone. I just figured I'd at least talk with y'all a little bit about just some of my disappointment that I've had lately and just kind of my thought on just like how everything is going with my content, or at least certain things that go along with my content, and that's basically live streaming. Live streaming is something that I don't really like prioritize, or I try not to prioritize, just because that I am not specifically a live streamer. I am not good at live streaming. I screw up a hell of a lot, but I try to do live streaming because I think that it would be something good for the channel, and I feel like it's a little bit, more of something that would help my charisma, and, I'll also be able to talk with you guys in a live fashion instead of just having to do an edited video and, don't really get that one-on-one interaction with a lot of you people. Like, of course, I know a lot of people do want, and I would like to at least do that because I think it's a cool feature. Unfortunately, though, there has been a lot of factors here at this property that I live at that doesn't really help my case whenever it comes to live streaming. Now, the house that I was living at prior to this, a lot of people didn't really have to deal with the live streaming stuff. In fact, I don't think a lot of people around here in this area deal with the live streaming stuff too. But where I was living before, it was more or less like I was in town. I was in more of an area where it made more sense for people to have internet and stuff. Out here, people do have internet, but this area is a forest, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, and so the internet is not really the greatest out here. And I've had the same problem, too, whenever I was living with my friend, and he even tells me all the time that his internet goes out at a certain time. I think it usually goes out at around 5 p.m. for them down there. It's kind of mixed match with me. Like, sometimes it'll go out at 5 p.m., sometimes it won't go out at 5 p.m. It's very weird. But it's something that really frustrates me because, I pay for a certain service whenever it comes to the internet, and I'm still happy with it because at least it gets me all the stuff that I need. It's unlimited. I can still post videos basically anytime that I want. And then if the internet is just good enough for me to do a live stream, then yeah, I'll be able to do a live stream. But unfortunately, especially with my previous stream, whenever I was playing the forest with one of my friends, it stopped working. It didn't want to do anything that I was wanting it to do. And unfortunately, I do know that that usually happens, but it's still frustrating nonetheless. It makes me so mad that every time that I try to do something like that, it never works out. I don't want to say it's completely my ISP. Like, I will say this. A lot of it definitely has something to do with the ISP, because anytime that I deal with it, or I try to, do resets and certain things, and then I try and check like the internet speeds after a certain amount of time from doing a live stream or doing an upload, it's usually pretty garbage. Whenever I was trying to do it, whenever I was trying to do a live stream earlier today, or at least test for the live stream today, it said that I was about at 500 download and about 40 upload, which 40 upload is way more than what I'm paying for. Like, I'm paying for 35 upload with my current service plan, and 40 upload is like even more than that. And it's like, hey, that's fantastic. I'll deal with 40 upload because, hey, that'll at least guarantee that I could do a stream. And it stayed like that for a little while, but then as soon as I was trying to do some more stuff with it, then it just started dying out. And by the end of the stream, I checked the download and upload. The download was about at 60, and the upload, it was at 1. And that's unacceptable, honestly, for the service that I'm paying for. But, I mean, at this point, that's the only service that I got, and that's the only service that will actually come out here and take care of us because, as I said, we're in the middle of a forest. Now, sometime in the future, that'll probably change, but as I said, I don't really want to pin it all on my ISP. A lot of it also has to do with the fact that my computer just cannot run certain things anymore. Like, a lot of the new games, like, okay, for instance, even though that it's a whole different ordeal with the game, Dragon's Dogma, I decided to check, can you run it on my computer, just to see if my computer had enough specs for it. Well, it doesn't, and I'll tell you why. It's because my computer, it's beefy enough to be able to run the certain games that we are all, familiar with, especially from 2020 and 2021. A lot of those games are still okay to play on this computer. But this computer will not upgrade to Windows 11. And I know that that's pretty well embarrassing right there, that it can't upgrade to Windows 11, but, to be honest with you, it's been doing everything that I've wanted it to do. It can still run the latest version of Adobe Premiere Pro. It can still run 4K video on my computer, like if I'm watching a video of just whatever, then yeah, I can watch a 4K 60 frames per second video. And that's still pretty good, but it can't upgrade to Windows 11. And so whenever I try to do certain things on here, I've noticed like how much the computer has been degrading, and OBS, it just dies out so hard whenever it comes to doing certain things on there. I watched the bit rate just drop on the stream like consistently. It was going from, you know, about 3,000, 4,000 kilobits per second, and then it was dropping down to like 600. And then at one point it was at 0. And I was like, oh God, there goes everything. This is terrible. I can't deal with this crap. And so it does get a little bit frustrating whenever it comes to that aspect. So I don't want to pin it all on my ISP, but I will say that every time that I do something on here, whenever I was living at the place that I lived at just previously before here, it's crazy that up there the internet worked just fine. And I really, really, really don't think that a lot of people around here are using the same internet service provider, or at least they're not using the internet the way that I'm using around here. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why that the internet is basically garbage, but I really have a hard time with thinking that, you know, people are using up the internet around here. I think it's just because that just the area around here, and there's only one way in and one way out. There's only one way that they're going to be able to run the internet lines. And so if the internet lines get clogged up, then my stream is going to be garbage. And it's very disappointing, but at the same time, it's kind of something that I already expected whenever I moved up here. So it wasn't like it was a huge surprise, but it's still a disappointing surprise at the same time, if that makes any sense. But I do want to apologize to everybody. I really, really, really want to try to live stream more, because I do enjoy talking with you guys and being able to, you know, do certain things and have fun with communicating with y'all and stuff. But it's just so hard to be able to do live streaming, especially just with how like my computer is, how the internet service provider is. Like it's just so hard. And then by the time I finally get it set up, I'm so exhausted, and it's like, I don't even know if I want to do a live stream now. But then I do it, and then everything starts breaking, and then it's just disheartening, because it's like, okay, I planned for so long to do this damn live stream, and I can't even do it now because nothing wants to work for me. And it's just, it's very annoying. It's very disheartening. And I'll even say this, it's a first world problem. Like, I know everybody is going to be like, oh my God, it's just the internet. It's not that big of a deal. Well, it kind of is a big deal for me, because I finally have become something that I've wanted to become for a while. I've basically become a YouTuber. And I want to be able to continue to do that. But whenever it comes to live streaming, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. Unless I do mobile live streams, which I'll be more than happy to do mobile live streams. Like, whenever I have some of those live streams where I just come on there and I just talk and ramble about bullshit, I have no problem with doing that. Or if I'm going to react to certain things on YouTube, then yeah, maybe I could do a live stream on that. But whenever it comes to doing live streams for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and me like playing video games and stuff like that, it's not something that's feasible anymore. It's not something that is actually going to work out in my favor anymore, because nothing wants to work for me hardly anymore. And there's plenty of factors that play in there, but I can tell you right now, the main cause of it is definitely the ISP, and I'm very, very, very disappointed that they're having this many issues around here. You would think by now, especially with everyone working from home in 2020, and we're almost like midway into this decade, we're almost to 2025 already, you would think that a lot of these people would be like, okay, everybody is relying on the internet at this point. We need to have internet available for everybody in all these areas, so that way they can do what they need to do. But no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to have it available to us. It's just something that we're going to have to continue to fight with. And the only way I can fix that is by either switching internet service providers, which isn't going to happen, or move to a different area, which is also not going to happen right now. And it shouldn't have to happen. I shouldn't have to move to a different area just so that way I can actually do what I need to for my job. I shouldn't have to relocate to be a YouTuber. And also, to be honest with you, whenever it comes to doing YouTube stuff, I just really want to just do the videos anyway. I know it takes a lot longer, and I know I got to do the editing process. I mean, lately I've been doing a little bit of lazier edits, but I do appreciate the support I get on those. And it's something that I would much rather just make YouTube videos, you know? Because I can at least make them look good. And even if the internet isn't doing too well, I can still get them in 60 frames per second. Or I can even sometimes record things in 120 frames per second. And it still looks goddamn good. And then I could post it, and then, you know, everything looks fine on it. Maybe I can even do a premiere, and so then I can talk to everybody in chat, and, you know, we can enjoy the video together. But I just want everyone to know, like, live streaming, it's not something that I think is going to work out, honestly, with the channel. Unless I just do random live streams, like going around town or something like that, or, you know, just doing things, like, mostly with my phone. I don't think that live streaming is really going to be something that's going to happen here. And it breaks my heart because it's like, I really want to continue to do that. But if I'm just going to have all these issues and waste everyone's time and look like I'm a damn idiot, then I don't really want to continue doing it. So if you don't happen to see live streams from me, unfortunately, that's why. But I just figured I'd let you guys know I'm still going to continue doing the forest stuff too. But I'm going to do more recordings of it. And I think that'll also just be easier for my mental health anyway, to just do recordings of it. And I'm going to try and bring them out and bring out some long-ass content that you guys will definitely enjoy, and stuff that I'll even enjoy making. And, you know, we're just going to have a good time. Just because one thing doesn't work doesn't mean that the whole kit and caboodle is just gone at this point. Like, we're going to make something work. I promise you that. I want to be able to bring some good content to you guys. And I damn well will, as long as I have the right tools and I can do what I need to, I'm going to bring it out to y'all. And even though it may not be in the live stream, it's still going to come out and still going to look pretty damn good. I promise you that. So, anyway, I just figured I'd post a random video of, like, no edits and stuff, and just kind of ramble a little bit about what's been on my mind. And yeah, it's frustrating as hell, and I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time with it. But, you know, at least I did try. I'll at least say that. At least I did try. And it didn't work out. So, looks like we're just going to have to stick to videos. But, anyway, thank you guys for listening for a while. I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming by the stream if you did. And, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.